Do re mi fa sol la ti do so do.
My daddy, oh, Baba God.
Hi, my name is Precious. I'm born and raised in Nigeria, currently residing in Edmonton, Canada. I'm a permanent resident at the moment, but hopefully very soon be a citizen. And yeah, I speak English and just say Pidgin English, right? It's two languages. For real, I actually use Pidgin English in one of a few of my singles. I think two of them. I actually enjoy, incorporating my native dialect with English, which is Ikwere. For those of you in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, would know that. Why music? First things first, it's a gift from God. Because I didn't go to school to develop my music talent. I was just in a choir back in my local church in Nigeria from when I was 10. I've been singing and I just loved it and I just grew in it. But as I got older, I began songwriting and I began to realize, wait, I actually do love, music as it were. And I actually love sharing, not just for me, but writing and sharing songs with, friends and family. And from there, I'm like, okay, Lord, what do I do with this? It's like, this is what I want you to do. And I fought for a few years, but at the end of the day, the Lord prevailed, and now I'm here doing His work in music. What else do I do? Apart from my art, I teach singing and songwriting specifically. I just started a business in September, and then acoustic guitar for beginners, piano for beginners. But I love singing and songwriting because that's something I do personally. So I'm hoping to also, teach more people in the future and kind of pass the knowledge and also learn from others as well. Setbacks. I would just say the learning curve of getting into the music world in general. Prior to my first single release slash production, I had no idea how to go about music production or release. So it was a learning curve. I had to ask questions, learn online, and you realize it's not as easy as it looks, as you just see on TV or YouTube. There's a lot of work that goes into even one song. But I love it anyways. At the end of the day, I do love it. Yes. When did I start music? Okay, so the singing part of my life started when I was 10. The songwriting part of my work started when I was 14. There's a funny story behind that. I think the very first time I'm like, I want to go into songwriting. I was at home, and then there was this dark cloud, and it looked like it was about to rain, and it got windy. Then the rain started pouring, so I kind of went outside, not under the rain, but just enough to, enjoy the scenery, and I just began to hum, just hum some melodies, and then, some melodies just began to flow. I was like, wow, this is cool. And I think a few weeks later, I bought like a radio cassette player, the recorder, what we call it back in the day. And I bought a notebook, and literally that was how my songwriting part started. And it's just gone on. It's never stopped ever since then till this day. Why didn't I give up? Honestly, I would say the only reason why I'm here right now and speaking about albums and singles is just because God Himself didn't give up on me. Because I played the hide and seek, maybe not game for years, and I suffered a lot of losses as a result in certain areas of my life. But for some reason, of course, nobody can explain the height and depth of God's love, but He really did not give up on me. He kept on, pulling me back until I got to a crossroad where I was like, okay, you know what, Lord, what do you want me to do this time? Like, just say it and that's it. And I just had that word in my spirit. What did I give you to do all these years? And I only had one answer. It was the music. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And literally that was it. And I never looked back since. Currently, I have 6 singles out, I believe, and I just recently released an album. And every single one of the songs are all inspired by the Holy Spirit. That's the number one inspiration. Is first of all, the songs are a blessing to me, and then also a blessing to as many as are going to listen. And yeah, that's the biggest inspiration for me. Who have I worked with before? 2016, I was part of a choir, a mass choir that a few of us were backup singers for Ron Kenoly, one a popular gospel artist, from I think way back in the 80s up until presently. I haven't seen as much of work recently, but I know he's done a lot of work, so it was awesome to be part of that. To be part of that experience and meeting him in person, actually, and seeing him in person, not just on television. I would love to work with Don Wen for sure, and Nathaniel Bassi as well. And as I go on, I'm sure there'll be other amazing artists that I would love to work with. But Don Wen and Nathaniel Bassi in particular, I would really love to have the opportunity to, even if it's one single, it would be amazing, an amazing experience to be able to work with them. COVID-19 hasn't impacted my art so much, just because prior few years ago, 2019, 2020, I've just released a couple of singles. I wasn't planning on doing any tours or any live performances, and then I just recently released an album that I'm just trying to get out there. So COVID-19 itself hasn't really, if anything, actually it inspired me. And now I think about it, because all the time spent in quarantine and not a lot of movement meant I had more time to spend in God's presence, which led to a whole lot of songs. And the album is the result, and there's more to come. What's next is albums upon albums upon albums, as much as the Lord, the grace that God gives. It's my passion. I love it, and I love sharing my work. And expect albums from just about as many genre as will uplift people's lives, because that's actually one thing that is part of my personal mission, is to write songs that glorify God, and to also write songs that are also uplifting, and that would lift people's spirits up. If you're down and you listen, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I feel good. So anywhere from gospel songs to lullabies to wedding songs as well. But right now, we only have gospel songs out, but just keep an eye out for other areas in the future. Thank you for watching me, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.